The moment Barron Trump silenced a journalist and left the room in awe. The grand ballroom of the Fairmont Grand Hotel sparkled under the golden glow of chandeliers. Elegantly dressed guests clinked glasses, laughter rippled through the air, and the night was set to be one of high society, power, and prestige. But no one in that room knew that, before the night ended, one moment, one response, would leave them stunned. Among the crowd, unnoticed at first, sat Barron Trump. At 18, his towering frame made him impossible to miss, yet he carried himself with a quiet presence, observing rather than engaging. Unlike the actors, moguls, and politicians around him, he had no desire to command attention. But tonight, attention would find him. The event's keynote speaker, a celebrated journalist known for their sharp tongue and controversial takes, took the stage. The audience, eager for a speech filled with wit and edge, leaned in. The journalist delivered. They joked about politics, poked fun at famous figures, and the audience laughed, some out of amusement, others out of obligation. Then the journalist's tone shifted. "Well, we can't talk about the world without mentioning the man who made orange the new black," they quipped, drawing some laughter. "And, of course, we can't forget his most overlooked legacy, his son." The room froze. A wave of unease washed over the audience. Jokes about politicians were expected, but targeting an 18-year-old? Even those who had laughed before now hesitated. Eyes turned toward Barron. The journalist smirked, sensing the tension, but pressing on. Imagine growing up in a golden tower, surrounded by marble everything, while your dad tweets about world affairs like it's a reality show. That must have been character building. Silence. A few nervous chuckles, but mostly silence. Barron, still seated, didn't react. No frown, no smirk, nothing. His expression remained unreadable. Yet the room felt heavier. The journalist, expecting an easy laugh, now faced a growing unease. The pause stretched too long. The moment had shifted. Then Barron moved. Slowly, deliberately, he pushed back his chair, the sound slicing through the silence like a knife. He stood, tall, composed, commanding attention without asking for it. The air in the room tightened as he walked step by step toward the stage. The journalist stiffened. No one knew what would happen next. Would he lash out? Walk away? Ignore it? When Barron reached the stage, he didn't snatch the mic. He didn't raise his voice. Instead, he stood still for a moment, looking the journalist in the eye. And then he spoke. "Thank you for your insight." A murmur ran through the room. What? No anger? No defense? Just calm? "I've grown up watching people make assumptions about me, my family, my life," he continued, his voice steady, controlled. "It's almost a game to some, a way to fill in the blanks when you don't know the real story. I get it. We're public figures. It comes with the territory." The journalist's smirk faded. This wasn't the response they had expected. This wasn't humiliation or outrage. It was something far more powerful. "But here's something people forget," Barron continued, his gaze sweeping the room. "Behind every headline, behind every joke, there's a person, someone with struggles, dreams, and a story that isn't for others to rewrite." The tension in the room was suffocating. The journalist, gripping the edge of the podium, looked as if they wished they could disappear. Barron wasn't attacking. He was reflecting, exposing the moment for what it truly was. "Respect isn't something you should have to earn," he said, voice unwavering. "It should be given freely, especially when you don't know someone's story." The journalist's confidence crumbled. Barron turned slightly, now addressing the entire audience. "We live in a world where tearing others down has become entertainment, but words have power. They can hurt, divide, or they can unite. And right now, I think we need a little more of the latter." A hushed silence, and then applause. Slow at first, then rising, swelling into a thunderous standing ovation. The journalist stood frozen, caught in the storm of admiration surrounding the very person They had tried to mock. Barron gave a small nod, turned, and walked back to his seat, his point made without aggression, without insults, just undeniable truth. By the time the gala ended, videos of the moment were already spreading online. Twitter exploded, TikTok flooded with clips. Barron Trump just gave a masterclass on class, one post read. Another simply said, no matter what you think of his family, respect is earned. Tonight, he earned it. The journalist issued an apology the next morning, but by then the world had already moved on to something bigger. A conversation had begun about respect, about words, about how we treat each other in a world obsessed with tearing people down. And at the center of it all was an 18-year-old who, in a single moment, showed that true power isn't in the loudest voice, but in the quiet strength of those who know who they are.